I'm going to be using some of the limited edition fluid chalk colors. We have Guacamole, Candied Yam, Arctic Blue, Red Barn, Gray, and then we're using a brand new My First Colorbox stamp set. It's the school set. It has a bunch of cute little images, rubber stamps mounted on a block. That's great for little fingers to hold. And then I've just cut some 3.5 by 3.5 inch squares that we're going to stamp on, and the rest of the pieces to assemble. And I'm just going to begin by stamping with the chalk ink onto my little fabric panels. We're using the apple stamp from this set along with the Red Barn ink. And I'm just going to begin by stamping on the fabric with these stamps. Since they're meant for children, they're mounted on a little bit larger block. So when you're inking them up, you just want to make sure that you check the corners before you're stamping yourself, so you don't get any ink where you don't want it to be. And I also wanted to mention that we're using the chalk inks here. This is the Candied Yams color with the school bus stamp. But the chalk inks are great for stamping on fabric because when you heat set them, either with a heat gun or with an iron, they become permanent. The color becomes permanent and waterproof on the fabric. So just another great way to use your stamp sets. Here I'm using the Arctic Blue and the star stamp. And for most of these I'm just sort of making a repeating pattern. The stars, of course, we can't turn at a 180-degree angle, but that's what I'm doing on most of them, just to create my own block of fabric. Really simple. Here we'll use the Guacamole with the Good Job, the pencil, the sentiment that comes with the set. This one's really cute. I just sort of lined the stamp up right next to each other, right where the end of the pencil stick begins, and then I'm just lining them up next to each other all along. It's really easy to create your own fabric designs with stamps, just like you do on paper. It's just a whole other medium for you to use. And then finally here we'll take the little computer image with the gray whale, and I think all 5 of these colors together, they're a really great, they make a really great back to school palette. So now that we are all done stamping, I'm going to heat set these with my heat gun, and I'm just going to make sure I get it really hot. Go over the image for about, I don't know, a minute or so. You can really see the color start to darken up as you're heat setting it, and the ink, you can really see it setting into the fabric, so that you know that the heat is taking effect. And you can just go over that too with your iron if you want to help set the color in a little deeper. The longer that you set it, the more waterproof it will be. So next we're going to assemble the fabric. We're going to assemble the planner. Lay out your fabric blocks, stitch the rows together, and then we're going to iron those seams open. We're going to stitch the rows of blocks together, and then we're going to add 2 strips at the end. Again, press open your seams. Lay your planner on top of the cover to make sure you have the right measurements, and trim away any excess fabric you may have. Cut some lining material the same size as your stamped cover and pin those 2 pieces together. And you can use any sort of stitch that you want here to quilt your top. Next we're going to add the pockets. Cut the same height as the cover. Stitch the sides, pin those on. We want the wrong sides of both fabric facing. And when you're stitched together, turn that inside out. You insert your planner into the pockets, add some embellishments, and you are all finished. Thank you so much for joining me today. For more ideas and inspiration, please visit clearsnap.blogspot.com, and for product information, please visit www.clearsnap.com.